This podcast is 100% supported by you, and we want to thank you for the love we receive. This is Forever Collector shooting another episode of Collectors Anonymous here with Gary, aka Real King Pokemon, aka Gary from Pawn Stars, aka the OG, the one, the only. And we are here, very excited to have him here in this space. So thank you, Gary, for coming on to the show. We really appreciate you.
Well, wow, I'm flattered. That's a lot of praise. Thank you so much.
Not a problem. I'm here as a fan, number one, as a fellow collector, number two. So.
Well, we met last year in Dallas, or is that a year ago? About.
Yes, sir.
A little over a year ago, we met in Dallas, and that was nice, and it's so great to catch up again here.
Yeah, there's a lot from last year to this year that's like crazy, and we could talk about because this was a pretty eventful year. It was almost 1 year ago. I think it was about 13 months ago, in February, in which that we did a lot of that. And there was, I was really, really happy to meet you and show you, some stuff that I've accomplished in my own space and my own goals, and it's been very, very good to me. And I'm very happy to say that, I even impressed Gary just a little bit when I showed him this card. Not a lot of people.
I'll tell you what, good. All I have to say is good job on all that, because you've done a tremendous job with your goals and that.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. I tried really hard for that. That was if you want to hear the story of that card that you saw, if anybody's wondering, it's the 1010 Charizard, of course, the pop one. My wife actually pulled that card out of a blister, the 3-pack cellophane blister with the the legendary collections and then the fossil and jungle. And so she pulled it out of there, and, we decided to get it signed. But if you remember Ocala 2019, it was a complete hot mess in terms of the organization of the event for Arita for the signing. And it was really, really wild to see that kind of stuff happened. But luckily, I had gotten my stuff signed prior in April in Dubai, where he was at the Middle East Film Comic and Con convention or something. And everybody was there for like Marvel and Scarlett Johansson and you know what I'm saying, all like the big stars for all that stuff, and not really so much for Arita. They're like, who's this guy? And it was funny, my friend was there that actually got my card signed for me because I didn't go personally. He was the one, he said that he was the only one there for Pokemon. Everybody was there for all his work in Final Fantasy. Because he was a big artist in Final Fantasy 11 or 7. Yeah.
Work.
Wow, it's pretty crazy to see, like the types of work that he does. It's very wide ranging. And that's why I'm a big fan of his. He's an amazing, he's so versatile, to be able to go from Pokemon to something so dynamic and Arrow as Final Fantasy. Like, that's such a fun series, and all the games, and every single one has its own flair, its own style, from 7 to 11 to 10-2. Like, they even made sequels of certain numbers and stuff, and so there was a lot of really fun stuff with Final Fantasy. I think that not a lot of people know his work in, and so I thought it was interesting when he told me. He was like, nobody was even there for Pokemon, bro. It was all for Final Fantasy. That's cool, right?
Yes. In fact, he's going to be in Ocala this year.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. So, but if he is, it'll be his only appearance, of the year. So now I've been invited down there. I'm not sure if, we're going to be able to work it out. But I've been invited down there. Nate, Real Breaking Nate, I was just talking to him today. He's invited down there. I think we're going to try to get a little bit closer to the event to see how it comes off. And,
right.
So I mean, for sure, if I go and if Arita does, show like we hope, I'll get some of his signatures for sure.
There's a lot of stuff that I've been like just saving, you know what I'm saying? Like I'll hold on to it for the next 10 years. Like I don't care until I can get it signed. Just because there's a lot of, like, I have a lot of his signatures on a lot of different things. And then, like, Fukuda last year, I went kind of crazy. We never saw you in line, but you were kind of there to do your own thing, and which I completely respect, you know, you were there as a guest, and you couldn't really stand in line like the rest of us to get a bunch of cards signed. And I was blessed to be able to get, like, I think 20 cards signed, which seems like not that much. But for me to be able, because I wasn't there for like anybody else, it was all my stuff. So,
right. Mm-hmm.
20 stuff signed to my own things. So fine, you know, whatever.
Yeah, I didn't get in line, and I was invited to the, to the panel thing, but I was, busy messing around with Twan and the little girl, so I couldn't do that. But I didn't have time to wait in the line because I had my wife and daughter there with me. Plus Leon Hart, wanted to do some stuff with me, so I had to do that. And but hopefully, if we go to Ocala and he does too, then I'll make up for that.
And it was crazy because he was supposed to be at Collective Con this year, and he wasn't. Of course, that happened last weekend or the same weekend as that thing down in Texas in Frisco. But right. I wasn't putting all my chips on black. I'll put it that way. Mm-hmm. And with all this COVID stuff, we really have to wait until the vaccinations and all that is dominant enough for them to deem safe. Like the Japanese government's very serious about their quarantines and stuff like that, so they're not really allowing their citizens to leave unless if they have like a medical emergency, right? That they have to go for surgery in some other country or something, right?
Plus, they just finalized today that they're not going to let any foreigners into the country for the Olympics.
Really?
It's finalized as of today, and I don't know if you know, but we were hoping for Steve to play at the closing ceremonies, and he was bringing me along. I was coming along because I was hoping to meet Satoshi Tajiri, to get a meeting with him.
Really?
And Steve is like a god in Japan.
Right.
I mean, he's popular everywhere, but he's like a god in Japan. So that would have been my in to get to Tajiri, to get him to help out a little bit with our autism charity, because like he's autistic.
Right.
And then having Steve sitting there next to me, I know he would have, complied. So now I'm not actually allowed in, but Steve can treat me as a lighting director or something like that.
Right.
And then I can get him as part of his group.
Right.
And so it's still up in the air, but yeah, I know the Japanese, they're being, extremely careful, and, having Olympics with no crowd, and because we already called it off one year and now the second year. I don't know what their situation is there. If it was here, we'd be holding it. But,
definitely. They wouldn't, it's a different government, and they definitely, they're trying to do their things. I get it for sure. The Japanese government, there's nothing wrong with being too careful at the same time. I applaud them for being such low numbers that they've had over there. So, if that proves anything, right? And so, definitely, that would be cool though to see you with Tajiri. That would be pretty wild. That would be pretty wild.
Well, it would make.
You're not much younger than he is, right? I think he's a few years older than you.
No, good question. I don't even know. I don't think he's older than me, but maybe. I think he's
How old are you?
I'm 67.
Oh, okay. You might be just a couple. I thought you were closer to your 60s. He's, I believe, 61 or 62. Okay. So you might be a few years older than he is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. The main thing I want him is to, autograph a few security stickers to put on our next Aoki Foundation poster.
That would be cool.
Signatures. Yeah, yep. So having him on there, it would be monstrous for the charity.
Yep.
And, that'd be a little better than mine and Pokey Revs. And, the one we have now, we have all the great people on it pretty much.
Almost. You're missing one.
Yeah, I know, almost. I put that together like over a year ago.
Yep.
So at the time, it was every single person I asked was able to do it.
Yep.
Except Zach, Genmin Pokemon.
Yep.
Who's a great friend who I caught up with this last weekend. But he didn't have time to shoot off a good picture looking like he was jumping out of a Pokeball, which is what I required for our poster.
Yep.
So now you've seen the poster, I'm sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, some of the weird poses and that. But yeah, but now can you imagine next year's charity drive having Tajiri on there? Nobody has a Tajiri autograph. There's
it's pretty wild.
Out there, I've ever seen 5 total.
Yeah.
Because he's autistic and he's a little socially awkward. He doesn't go to shows to sign.
Yeah.
He couldn't do that because of the autism.
Yep.
So I mean, you don't know how hard I'm going to be pushing for that, assuming that we get into Japan for the Olympics.
Right. So, that would be really fun. I would love to see something like that happen with you guys. That'd be pretty great to have you guys all together and to do something pretty fun.
Oh man.
And maybe to even like produce, like cards and stuff. I remember he did like for the 20th anniversary, he did with him on the Pokemon card. Oh man.
Right.
Oh, yeah. No. Yeah.
It'd be great to get Steve on one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty wild to see, where Pokemon is today and to see where it came from and to see what kind of promos and stuff they've created. And I think it's almost fun because like over in Japan, they have like all that creative freedom, right? They can do whatever the fuck they want. Nobody cares.
Right.
Nobody's challenging them. You know what I'm saying? Anybody in America who's trying to do something, they're like, whoa, 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 whoa. You didn't go through the proper channels there, buddy. Like
they're real protective.
Yeah.
Super protective.
Yeah.
The convention last week, they originally called it PokeCon.
Yep.
And even that they had a little issue with, and so the guys in charge.
Yep. They had to call it Collecticon. Yeah.
But on a cordial basis, I've had my run-ins with them myself.
Yep.
Not so cordial, but they got on a cordial basis. And so there's a chance they might team up with us in the next couple Collecticons.
Right.
So, we're hoping for that, of course. And yeah, but they're super protective, like you said.
Yeah. So, what's been going on here with you lately? Not the last few days, but maybe like the last few months. I know I've been seeing you do a lot of fun things. I think when we met last year in Dallas, like that was like a really calm event. It wasn't really too busy. It wasn't like too crazy. It was kind of like the last of an era, I feel like, right? Because Collecticon looked busy as hell, and even with the restrictions in place, they were completely maxed out, and so there's nothing denying those facts, and I'm not gonna knock anybody for holding such an event, but it was a great time last year. It really was.
It was just incredible. I've been involved in conventions and that for years in different areas. And I mean, I've never had a more pleasant experience than I did with this one. It was just fabulous.
Yeah.
The people running it were just amazing.
Fukuda was a great artist, and it was really cool to see him, not ever run out of juice. He was never out of juice. He was, I'm ready to go. Give me some more cards to sign. And I was like, wow, that's, I'm really impressed for being his age, and it's like a little bit different than, I guess, you and Leonhardt's kind of position at conventions, right? Where you're just like there to like kind of like have fun and take pictures and keep, everybody's like interest there because you guys are kind of like stars like that, right? But like these signers, like they're over there busting ass. You know what I'm saying? Like carpal tunnel, whatever.
Well, an interesting thing. I'll tell you what, honestly, it was actually old on an old guy like me. I'll tell you, although during the whole thing I was pumped up, with all the people.
Well, when we met, you were in high spirits, so I figured you were just like that the whole time. And then we also met right at the elevators. That's why I was saying you're kind of known for that shirt pocket right there, because we saw you at the elevators and you pulled it right out. And for anybody who's listening and not watching, we're talking about the 9.5 or the BGS 10 Charizard. Ridiculous. Yes. Only one in the world. He had it right there in his shirt pocket. Believe it or not, folks, it was wild to see that.
It was different this time because I brought that card. I had a first edition base box. I had about 50 super rare cards with me, but I also had 2 arm guards who were with me all the time. I don't know if you could see it on camera.
Yeah, you could see it a little bit off. Yeah.
Yeah, but they were there, and they're armed guards, and they're trained to protect and watch. And that's what I'm talking about, part of the good experience, with the way they ran.
You never had to worry, did you? That's good.
Never had to worry. They were on time. 2 people tried to make moves during my photo taking and signing, because I would go from the photo.
Yeah, really.
Families, right over to the table sign, back and forth, back, almost always on my feet. And 2 people tried to make moves, and the armed security caught them both times. So
that's pretty wild.
That helped. That helped me enjoy it more. I didn't have to worry. They were up by my room the whole time when I was inside.
Yeah.
So now actually, I got a charity box while I was down there. The first edition base box.
Yep.
That, Chris from Dumb Money donated.
Yep, Chris Camillo. Yep.
Yeah, he donated that box to me and our foundation.
Nice.
And so I had that with me the whole time. And then the only problem I had was when I got back on the plane to fly back home to Vegas, and that was TSA. They saw this case, they saw this weird stuff inside, and how do they know it's Pokemon in there, right?
Right.
There could be drugs inside or something else inside.
Yep.
And they said, why would this old guy be carrying Pokemon cards onto the big screen? Fortunately, one of the supervisors was a fan, so he actually knew me. He actually knew that I was Gary, and he said, "Oh no," he said, "Just open it up for the cameras. Open it up. Let me finger them." Let me figure everything.
I've been stopped before too, and it's funny when they open it up and they notice this Pokemon. They're like, close it back up, get them through here. There's nothing to see here, and like they ask, like, "Oh, is this expensive?" I'm like, "Yeah, go get your Pokemon card collection from your house. I'll come buy it from you." I always, it always just eases them right up. They're always happy to, like accommodate. I don't know. I really like. I've been, like through TSA a lot, and I've never had such a pleasant experience when they open it up and it's fucking Pokemon.
Right. Yes. Yeah. But they could open that box.
Yeah, if they really wanted to. If they really wanted to, yeah.
In Texas.
Yep.
I'll just stay in Texas. Don't touch that box.
Yep. I'll turn around, bro. Yep.
Yeah. But they could. They could open the box.
Yep.
So anyway, that was a little bit of a scare, but I got super lucky that one person noticed me or recognized me, so I got straight through, no problem.
Yep.
And then Logan told me he had a problem going through. Logan Paul, the YouTube guy.
Yep.
That he had a time with TSA with his boxes too, and he was scared that they were going to get opened, and so I worry about that.
Yeah, it's definitely a scare. I think it's very a lighthearted thing. It's not. You're not like looking at something that's so intimidating, right? Like you open it up and you're like, it's Pokemon card, and I really enjoy that because it still makes me feel like it's super under the radar and super like chill of a type of thing. People aren't so intimidated with like, Pokemon and it being valuable. Like I feel like they're more intimidated with like an expensive watch being valuable or like, high-end jewelry and stuff like that, right? And so like it's not so intimidating when they're like, oh yeah, could you please be careful with it? It's pretty expensive, it's pretty old, it's antique, Then they kind of understand, oh man, this guy's serious, and it's Pokemon cards. And so that's, a really big advantage I feel like that Pokemon still has. And so
yeah, but that convention turned out to just be tremendous. I couldn't say enough about it. We had about 3 times more people than we thought we were going to have.
Well, I mean,
we were going to be on stage for 2 hours each day, 2 hours on Saturday, 2 hours on Sunday. We ended up being on for 5 or 5 plus each of those days just to cover the lineup. 2 hours before we went on stage, there was 100 people in line.
Mm-hmm.
I mean that how insane! Nobody expected that. And then we got about triple the attendance, ticket sales, and online ticket sales, at the door ticket sales, way more than expected.
I completely believe that. I mean, we've had, I don't know, 12 solid months of not being able to do anything cool. And so everybody's hungry for that type of event, especially in America. Yeah. And so, I can completely believe something of that scenario happening. And, hopefully, we can get you up here for some cool stuff that, we can host. And there's a lot of good opportunity up here as well. And there's, now that 2021, everything's kind of opening up, everybody's getting vaccinated, yada yada. Hopefully stuff can get back to normal, and so like you can see a lot of more attendance worldwide. And see, like, my biggest thing, to be completely honest, is not even like conventions and stuff like that. It's regionals, nationals, and worlds. Like I last year in January, I started sponsoring a small little team from Duluth, Minnesota, and it was like a 12-year-old, a 18-year-old, a 20-year-old, and a 28-year-old. And they were like, never really done anything like that before. I was like, I'll pay for your whole trip. All you got to do is wear the Forever Collector t-shirts. And, I'll pay for the whole trip. No problem. And we had such a beautiful time, Gary. And it was amazing. And I wish that tournaments could come back. Like, that's the biggest thing. Like, that's where I saw you. It wasn't at a convention. It was at regionals in Dallas.
Yeah, regionals, yeah.
Yeah, and so that's, you get a way different atmosphere, and I think it's a lot funner and a lot cooler and a lot more going on and stuff. And so there's, at a convention, you see a lot of, especially like card conventions, it's all about making deals and all this kind of stuff. It's not so much, where the roots are and where these cards are used. And to see, like, sponsoring a team is probably, shout out Poke Collector 76, shout out Nice, Pokemon. And it's been, an amazing journey. Like, sponsoring a small group of men to, like, do something cool like that it's so cool, Gary. And I would love to see, like, Team Gary or something, like a group of players with your name on their back and some cool jerseys or something. Like, that would be pretty slick, and I love the tournament life. That was like, regionals was my second event. You know what I'm saying? Just imagine if we were able to continue events for the rest of the year last year. I would have had an amazing year, But now that we're able to come back, hopefully we can really, have these sort of events and get these international artists and stuff like that. My friend actually just did Midori Harada in Norway. If you know my friend Nas, NPC Pokemon Coalition. He did the Midori Harada over in Norway. That's one of my brothers. I love that guy. He's me and him have been really close together on this Pokemon journey, and so like it's really he's a fucking beautiful human being, and to see him able to still host events during COVID and have such a safe event and limited attendance and host it amazingly coordinated was really inspiring, you know. And so like that was, you know, luckily for him, Midori doesn't live in Japan, she lives in Germany, so she wasn't coming far, you know, to go over to Norway, so that's really nice. But I'm really excited to get these kinds of events rolling again. Like Midori Harada, what a legend, you know, like with her work with Mysterious Mountains, like just alone, not even all the Pokemon she's done throughout the ages. One of my favorite arts is a Gardevoir that she did for Power Keepers, I believe. Right. And it's amazing. Like her artwork is really, really good, and for her to be one of the women in Pokemon alongside Nishida, like, wow, you know, I would love to see these events happen with more artists.
You know who my favorite artist is?
Who is it?
Himeno.
Really? You know, I want to get some stuff signed by her too. She's a monster. She's an amazing artist.
Let me tell you something. In 2000, I believe it was 2000 in Hawaii.
Yep.
You know, in the year 2000.
Yep.
She gave me her name tag. You know, her tag.
Oh, yep. I remember you posting that.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir. And she signed it. Wow. Yeah.
And I have it right here in the next room.
So, oh, wow. That's cool.
One of my most treasured things, because, you know, she's the second most prolific Pokemon artist of all. So,
she did all the Evolutions original art. She did Dragonite's original artwork. Like, there's, you know, she's got some heavyweights under her belt. That's for damn sure.
She does a lot of other things too.
Yep.
You know, just like Arita.
Yep.
You know, she has a lot of other franchises under her belt. And
yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Himeno has done a lot of work in this space. You know, I would love to see. Yeah. It was cool to see that they're including, like, Arita started doing textured cards and like full art cards. I mean, he already did it like kind of like in Breakthrough and I can't remember the other Breakpoint and Breakthrough. He did like some full art cards, you know, like an Alakazam, a Mewtwo, a Gyarados, and they were full art. But he doesn't really do that kind of stuff, and he made a few artworks, actually, full art cards for the new Sword and Shield sets, Battle Styles, and Matchless Fighters in Japanese. It'll come to English. I can't remember. I don't know what the name is gonna be. Probably Chilling Rain or something. And it's been, dude, like, it's crazy to see, you know, 20 years, 25 years later, you know, like, I mean, that's when it got started, so it's probably older than that, you know, when they were trying to commission these artists to make these arts, you know. So it was probably closer to like 26, 27, maybe even 28 years, you know.
Can you hold on one quick second?
Yes, sir.
1 second.
He's gonna grab something for us. I'm excited. I feel like I gotta grab something too. What do you think, folks? Yeah, I'm gonna grab something. Hold on, too. We're gonna open some packs. You know, that's how we do it. This is a fun time. You know, we don't really get a lot of people on the horn. That's really amazing. So we're gonna open up. This is a sealed case. We're gonna open up some packs, Gary. Fuck this. Let's go.
Okay, well, I'm gonna show them what I was just talking about.
Oh, he's pulling out the name tag. Jeez Louise.
From the Tropical Mega Battle Tournament in Hawaii. This was her tag, and that's her autograph. She signed it for me. You know, over here.
Yep, I can see that.
Japanese signature.
Yep, she signed it on the right, and it says, she crossed that out. She's like, I ain't no trainer, I'm an illustrator, goddammit.
Right, yeah, I don't know who did that, but yeah, isn't that something?
Yeah, that's, right. So,
wow,
it's one man.
Of my prized possessions.
You know, there's a reason why they call you the king, right? That's what I'm going for. If you want to see something cool, all right, I got something for you. I got something for you.
Okay. Okay, now it's my time to talk to you guys. Oh, he's back.
Okay. Here's a box that I got signed. It's Japanese, But the reason why I got it signed is because it's a very special artist. Last year, we all got to meet him. Again, if you can see that. Fukuda did this entire box art for Japanese Legend Maker. This is a first edition booster box. It's very, very hard to find. Not only is it signed, it's personalized to Mew up here in the top left corner. And then you can see that beautiful Mew sketch, which we weren't supposed to be getting. We weren't supposed to be getting those sketches.
No, he wasn't supposed to do sketches, right?
Yes, sir. And so this is one of, and not only do I have this box signed, you know, the packs is the same art as the box. So not only do I have a box signed, I have the pack signed in Japanese. I have both of the promo cards because not only did he do the box art, the pack art, but there's a card in both English and Japanese as a promo card. I got both of those signed and sketched. So it's a 4-piece, you know, I call it my 4-piece.
Maybe you should explain why he wasn't supposed to draw the Mew.
You know, I don't know. I feel like, you know, Pokemon really keeps a tight leash on their artists. They don't want them putting arts out there that they're not supposed to, and they don't really...
Plus, they own it.
Exactly. It's the IP. It's the IP, right? They all own the intellectual property, and they're like, you know, that's not... You know, you may have drawn this card, but it was commissioned. We own this card. We own this art. We bought it from you, right? We paid you good money for this damn art, right?
And like we discussed earlier, they're real careful with their rights.
Yes, sir. They really are. They don't like a lot of people, you know, creating things out of their say-so, right? They like to keep that, you know? It's the same thing with Nintendo, and I feel like that kind of comes from Nintendo, right? Because Creatures and Game Freaks, I feel like they're more of like understanding. They come from the roots, you know what I'm saying? They come from the people, so like...
Yeah, Media Factory in Japan was pretty tight too.
Really?
So some of it is probably cultural, you know, business cultural, and but that's you know that's really kind of a shame. You know, in other countries they're a lot more open, you know, with what they let their producers do. And
Yep. I mean, when you got the winning hand, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to give no piece of that to anybody. And I guess I can respect that, you know? Like, they came up with it, you know, that's their thing, you know? And so I don't really... What do you think we should open up first? We got Steam Siege, and we got Guardians Rising. Guardians Rising is the one I want to hit really good in.
Yeah, I agree with that.
We'll start with Steam Siege. We'll see if we can get one of these full arts. I just recently got like a whole case of blisters. And so I got 2 cases of blisters. And so I've been opening them up, you know, having some fun.
You know, I recently
got a great deal.
I recently did a pack battle again with Leon Hart, where I beat him last year, and then this last weekend I beat him again. So he's already blowing up my computer, wanting another rematch.
This is a pretty good art.
When get together, we'll have a pack battle.
Right, that would be fun. That's a pretty cute one. Hoppip and a non-hollow Drug Dagon. Okay, so we wanted to hit a dud there. You know what I'm saying? Because then we give a better shot for the Guardians Rising. So we're good. You know, I'm feeling good. Right. Oh, we're feeling really good, Gary. We're feeling really good right now.
We got some sparkles.
We got some white code here. We're gonna do this little dealio thing. You know, the card trick BS or whatever. Let's go. We got a Fletchling, a Barrow, what the hell is that called? Another Fletchling, a Litten, something, I don't know. Oh, snap. Oh, we got a full art Komomo GX. Wow.
Oh, nice. Look at that.
Wow.
Good luck, man.
That's that's why we wanted to see that garbage in Steam Siege. We didn't want nothing.
No.
Nice.
A
really good card from this set is the Tapu Leles. It was a pretty prominent card in the meta for a while.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people. You know, it's always fun, I think, you know, to dive into the other side of Pokemon and to see, you know, what cards do well in the tournament bases, right? Like, and I've always, you know, I started playing the online game last year and stuff after I like hosted the team to go play, and we did the regionals in Collinsville, Illinois.
Okay.
And it was a really really good time.
How far away are you from Collinsville?
About 8 hours. I'm in Minnesota. Yeah, right by Minneapolis. Yep, in the suburbs. Minnesota's a great time. You have wait till we get you out of here. We'll have a great time. There's a lot of fun stuff to do out here. It's a lot of people, a lot of fun, different little neighborhoods and stuff, and of course we have the Mall of America, and so that's pretty spectacular to get into, and you know we might have to, you know, bring some guards and stuff. You'll have like a little trail of people wandering around behind you, right, as we walk out. Trying to get your autograph. You'll be causing too much a ruckus, Gary.
Oh I don't mind that at all. You know what I don't like? I don't like when they walk by and just kind of stare at me and don't say anything. I want them to say something. I want them to say, "Hey, Gary, hi, how are you?"
Yeah. They're so intimidated, you know, like, you know, when they see somebody on TV and, you know, they don't know what to do and how to say it, you know, and so that's all right. Yeah, but
not
you know,
with me. You know, not with me.
You gotta go say hi to them, Gary. Be like, "Yo, what's up?" You know, be like,
"Oh, I do that. I do that."
You know, mistake them for being famous. Like, "Hey, haven't I seen you on TV?" Oh man, they would flip out. They would flip out, bro. I think they would be kind of mind blown.
Did I see you at Worlds, or did I see you?
Yeah, like wow, you look familiar. I don't know. Have you been on Nickelodeon or something? I feel like I've seen you. Yeah.
Miley? Is that? Oh no.
That would be fun. Miley. That would be a fun time. Yeah, last year. Oh man, I wish I could go back last year. That was such a fun time. That weekend came by way too soon. It was, you know, 3 days of absolute heaven. We sat in the line. We had a great time with the homies, and then after that, we went and ate dinner and, you know, really enjoyed each other's company. You know, like those are the type of events that I want to go to.
Well, can I say something about that? That's one unique thing about Collecticon, is they're trying to make it more than just, you know, booths and one guy sitting in the corner signing. You know, they're trying to make it a family event. Like they had a big room with about 30 arcade games like Ms. Pac-Man, all free. Yeah. Where everybody, all these vintage arcade games, they could go and play. The kids could go in there and play, you know, while the parents were looking around. And plus a kids area with bouncy houses and, you know, all on the main floor of the convention. That's cool. So it made it more of a family affair, you know, than what we're so used to with collectible, you know, floors, you know.
That's why I say I like the tournament stock, because it's not like that either over there. You know, people are there for a purpose. They're not there to look at the booths all the time. Ththe not there for the people who are signing. They're there to play. They're there to be with their friends. They're there to, like, you know, play as a team, play as an individual. And, you know, I really enjoy that type of mentality, you know, like I really liked it. And I wish, you know, to host an event that's like a regionals type thing here in Minnesota. That would be really fun, you know, type of that.
Well, you'll keep me posted on that.
You'll be our first guest, Gary. You know that.
All right.
Yeah. You know, when I met you last year, it was really nice meeting you. Mm-hmm. You're very warm and very kind. And so there's a lot to be said about that. And
yeah, thanks.
You know, there's a lot of people, you know, and I mean, a year ago it wasn't as prolific as it is now, I guess I should say too. But even then, you weren't hard up, you weren't stuck up, you know, you were very down to earth and you were very welcoming, and that's nice. And when I showed you my Charizard, my 1010, what did you say? You're like, let's take a picture, goddammit, you know?
Yeah, I've seen that picture since. Yeah, that got out there a little bit. Yeah,
you posted that on Instagram too. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember you posting that on Instagram. That was a good time.
That was neat.
Yeah, it was that Charizard I still have too. Interesting enough.
Well, I appreciate them. You know, I love that stuff. So it's easy. It's easy to be, warm and fun and that, especially when you're so enthusiastic about it.
Yeah, and there, I wasn't there with my kids, so I didn't have to necessarily worry about that. And I have 6 kids. I don't know. I think you have 3 or 4, right, Gary?
Yeah, I have 3.
Yeah, 3.
I have 3, but two are adults.
Okay. Yeah, so I have 6 kids, and all of them are children. I'm not even 30 yet, and I have an 11-year-old, and so she's gonna be turning 12 this year, which is pretty exciting.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, our youngest, she'll be turning 2 in October, and so that's our youngest.
So how many girls? How many boys?
Half and half, cut right down the middle. We have a little team.
Of King.
Yes, sir.
They call that the gift of kings.
Yep.
When you have an equal number of boys and girls.
Yeah, it was a blessing, man. It's really nice to have the variety, and to be able to have their own personalities, and oh man, 6 children, cool. It's wild. Don't get me wrong, but I love every second of it. I wouldn't trade it for the world. There's too many kids out here that don't have that.
I'd have some more too.
Yeah, I know, right?
I'd go back, I'd have some more too, but
that's all right. That's right. I could see you adopting some kids too. You're that kind of person. I feel like, like.
But I would. You don't know. You're absolutely right. I would love to, but you know what? I'm 67, and
you're gonna live just as old as Jack Nicholson, my friend. You're gonna be 100 years old. Drinking straight rye whiskey, no big deal. Opening fucking first edition packs.
Yeah, things just start getting harder though. You get aches and pains. I'm going again Tuesday for cortisone shots in my bones in the shoulder. And, you get older, things like it would be a little harder for me to run around after little, especially little boys.
Yep.
Now, but. If I was your age, I would love to be in your situation. I love kids.
Thank you. I just, I wake up every day blessed, and it's an honor to be able to take care of these kids and to, teach them all the things that I wasn't taught,
Right.
There was, a lot of knowledge that I could have been taught as a child that I could have applied as an adult, and I never was taught that. And so I'm just trying to teach my kids all that, simple stuff, to get you through the day and to not have to rely on anybody else. And that's really the point is self-sufficiency, right? And so.
Well, I'm proud of you with that outlook. Good job.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. They're a beautiful set of kids, man. And you know what? Even more, they love Pokemon just as much as I do. Like they have their binders right over there on my shelf, and they're always trying to do extra chores and shit. They're like, "Come on, let me get another pack." They're trying to squeeze every pack they can get out of me, Gary. Every damn one. Luckily, I'm in this and I got packs, so.
That's the difference between now and 20 years ago. Because 20 years ago, there was no Pokemon. And so when I shared it with my sons, who were like 8 and 9 at the time, when I shared it with them, I was doing it just to participate with them, just to be a part of it. But today, you're an enthusiast.
Yep.
You love Pokemon, and you're sharing it with your kids who love Pokemon. It's a whole new world.
I feel like it's multi-generational. Like my kids are going to give it to their kids, and their kids are going to give it to their kids. I feel like it's gone to that,
Right.
And how proud I am of that moment, really, right? And so it's just like, yep, I agree with you totally there. Yeah, I like that perspective. I like that perspective a lot. There's a lot to be said of, a lot of the different things that you can do with your child, and, how superficial some of them might be, and not long lasting at all. And where Pokemon, like my kids, like I've been into Pokemon with them for years now. Since I got back into it, I was buying all the new stuff. And back then it was so cheap, like they couldn't get it rid of cheap enough, like there was, I was buying boxes for like $85 a box.
Yeah.
Take it. Now you can't find it less than retail. It's insanity. It's insanity.
Yeah.
And so,
but that's because it's successful. What do we want it to be successful? And that's just a sign of that. If it was dying, you could get all the cards you want, all the boxes you want.
Right.
So it's better.
I think it was like a perfect storm though too, because COVID really messed up the accessibility, and I don't know, like I've heard rumors of numbers that their main printing houses are only running at like 60%. How do you supply something that exploded with 60% of your normal supply that you have every other year? There's just no possible way. And then you're trying to keep up. They're trying to do the Roaring Sky style and reprint older sets because of how successful they are right now, and they can't even keep up with the modern printing of the stuff that they need to print to keep the TCG going. And then guess what? The TCG stuff is now $200 a box, and they only brought down the other stuff from $500 to $300. Like, what the hell is the difference? And so,
let me ask you something. If you were in charge, what would you do?
In charge of which part? Because there's a lot of moving parts.
If you were TPCI, the Pokemon company,
I would do exactly what they're doing, and that's to build more printing houses. But by then, COVID's going to be over. Everybody's going to be vaccinated. Their printing houses will be able to operate at 100% capacity. And I feel like, it's a little bit of psychology on top of it. When you're told you can't have it, you want it even more. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so when you can't go to somewhere and buy it right off the shelf for retail, what option are you left with? And you want it so bad, you don't give a shit anymore. And so there's a lot
maybe if they did some temporary printing houses. I know if I ran that company, I'd be pumping out more cards.
As much as I possibly could. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
But with restrictions, what can you possibly do? You would literally have to retrofit something else, the type of printing house, to be able to do that, or to straight up try to buy. And who owns all those other printing houses? I can't even remember their name. It's not everybody who thinks it is. And they're the ones who are actually like running the games and have all the infrastructure for all that. That's why TPCI, they're like, we're building 4 new printing houses across the world, 2 in the US, 1 in Europe, and 1 in Asia. And that'll handle all that, all the supply that's needed, and all the demand. And so, that's a year from now, at least 9 months. Where they're operating at such a level to be able to bring up supply to comparable to demand. And
fortunately, it's going to get better and better. It's been a year. It's going to get better and better and better now. So we won't see any more downturn. It's going to get better and better in every area.
I agree. There's a lot of, and it's so hard to say what you would exactly do, but what they're doing is what they probably should be doing, in my opinion. There's nothing they can really do. Their hands are tied. What are they going to do? They're going to take a 6-month, cut a corner and do 6 months and retrofit some other printing facility to do. What do you, there's nothing they can do. There's not enough printing houses, because not only are they printing Pokemon, who's printing other stuff? Sports, Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh, Weiss Schwartz. If you don't know what Weiss Schwartz does a lot of animes and stuff like that. They're not necessarily
Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball. Like, how many cards are being printed by the general facilities that are already printing them? You know what I'm saying? How can Pokemon be like, yo, F all these other people, let's just print what are you gonna say? There's nothing they can do. So I hope they get it figured out sooner than later, because I know a lot of people are hard up and upset and stuff like that. And at the same time, I feel like there's a lot of ability to be able to still work in this space, and that you should always, just weather through it. I mean, even at my level, even at your level, I mean, I'm sure you're still, willing to fork money out of the butt just to get what you want. Whatever it takes,
But I don't sell stuff. I hardly sell anything.
You hardly sell anything. Yeah, you do. Yep.
Yeah. And I was talking to Real Breaking Nate the other day, and he's the same thing. He never sells a single thing, yet he takes a lot of heat just for opening packs. It's so ridiculous. He's not.
I know. I've been selling a lot lately. I just, it comes to a certain point. I don't want all these PSA 8s and 9s. I'm a PSA 10 collector. I'm a Mewtwo collector. I'm not a Charizard collector. So Charizards can take their happy ass outside of my door. I'm not not to say that Charizard's not a collectible card or anything. That's just not what I collect, Gary. I'm a Mewtwo collector, Mew collector, Evolution collector, Gyarados. My wife loves Gyarados. And so that's where you're seeing cards. Articuno, the legendary birds. You're seeing a lot of those cards not even getting posted on my social media. I'm not selling those cards for nothing. I'm trying to sell all these other cards, all these Charizards, and all this stuff I don't want, so I could pay for all the shit that I do want. That's the only reason why I sell.
Something that comes to mind. You say Mewtwo because you're a Mewtwo collector.
Yep.
My best Beckett's card, first edition base Beckett's card, is a Mewtwo. It's 2 10s and 2 9/5s.
Wow.
And I treasure that card. I've never had a Beckett's 10 first edition holo, base holo.
Yep.
And so my Mewtwo is the best one I own. So
you heard it here first, folks. Mewtwo is better than Charizard.
You know what my favorite Pokemon is?
What is it?
You don't know.
I don't know. No.
It's going to surprise you.
It's, you know what? I hope it's Kingler.
My favorite Pokemon is Venusaur, especially the base set artwork on Venusaur.
Yep.
Love that guy. That's my favorite. Now Charizard is a close second, but Venusaur has always been my favorite. And that surprises people.
You know what? That's a great choice. Nobody can argue with that. Venusaur, he's got some of the meanest arts in the entire TCG. Erica's Venusaur. Yeah. Wow, what a card, right?
Yeah, oh man.
Venusaur EX and Fire Red Leaf Green. I mean, come on, what do you want from me? Forget about it.
Right.
And so, I agree with you totally. Yeah, Venusaur's a great card to like. Yeah, definitely.
But that is Gary's favorite.
I have a lot of friends, their favorite Pokemon is something so simple, like Slowbro or, Slowking and what was my other friend? Beedrill and Butterfree, because he's a huge insect kid, and he used to do all that. Psyduck.
Psyduck.
Yeah, I mean, it's really cool to see. Not everybody jump on the Charizard bandwagon, and everybody, in a world of Charizards, everybody else is like, Psyduck and Slowking. Fuck this, And I love that. I honestly do. I really do. There's something special to say about Pokemon in general, is that there's so many different Pokemon that people can be attached to that have nothing to do with money, popularity, hype, whatever the case may be. And that's what I like to focus on, because I'm the same way, you know what I'm saying? Like, I like a lot of the other stuff that isn't collected so much, super niche, stuff that you don't see, stuff that you can't get, Japanese stuff especially, and there's, I mean, come on, what do you want from me? Like, there's, it's so much cooler. It really is. Like, there's, to find something that's rare and like actually rare and like actually cool, and the arts works amazing, I will never let go of that. And there's a lot of, overrated cards, that are obviously going to command the premium, and I totally respect that. But like, there's so many other Pokemon. What is it, like 890 or something Pokemon? Like,
Logan Paul's favorite is Squirtle.
Yep. Yep. I have a friend. His favorite is Rayquaza. You know, like not a lot of people like. I mean, it's a popular Pokemon, sort of, I guess, but not that popular. You know, like I would definitely say like Mewtwo or Evolutions are definitely more popular, and so
yeah, the Rayquaza Gold Star is one of the top 10. Yeah.
I mean, you know, you're talking to I didn't bring none of my heavy heaters down to regionals last year. I only had that Pop 1. I got this. This is pretty. This is a pretty wild box.
Yeah, base Japanese.
Yeah. It's not cut on either of the sides. So, we don't know if it's short packs in there.
Right.
If it's short packs.
We're going to be opening one of those. We're going to be with Pokemon Radar.
This is why I love Mewtwo. This is probably one of my favorite Mewtwo arts. The box art for Holy Phantoms.
Yeah. Amazing.
Like.
Yep.
This
Classic.
is Mewtwo Gold Star. Like, I have Mewtwo Gold Star, English and Japanese. I have them both signed in English, Japanese too. Like, that box and this box because it's probably the second best. It's a close second. Maybe it even beats it. This
tremendous.
Like, look at him, bro. Like, he is the final boss type shit, right? Like.
Yeah,
he's the one. He's the one, dude.
Right.
It's a beautiful box. Beautiful box. I love. That's what I'm mostly like a PSA 10, and then sealed collector. You know, I collect the blisters. Love blisters like a lot. All the the niche blisters. You know.
I mean, I'll show you something else. All right.
Yeah, let's go. Come on, this is what I wanted to see. This is why we're here. For everybody who's not watching on YouTube, Aoki Foundation, $100,000 check. Look how fucking big that is. It reminds me of Happy Gilmore. He's like, no, I want a big check like that. Sorry, I don't have anything to give you.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's really cool. Oh, no. I've seen that. Oh, my God. That's for a black and white set, right?
Yep, that's the full art. And he's... it's unprinted.
So there's no, oh my gosh. Okay, so he's holding up Regigigas and Mewtwo EX, full art, uncut sheet that's also unprinted on, so only the picture is printed. There's no wording printed on this sheet.
Right.
Holy cow. Wow. Amazing. See, this is wow.
Because you talk about Mewtwo, and it makes me think, what do I have that's unique?
Yeah,
the ones you're talking about.
Wow. Damn, Gary.
Yeah.
That's a pretty unique piece of history there. I'm pretty astonished. I think I've seen that before, but not that up close, and that's pretty amazing. Wow.
I put that here. This is one of the problems I had with TP with the Pokemon Company. I posted that just to show it off, and their lawyers contacted me again. They've done it before.
Yeah.
They saying, you have to give that up. You have to turn it back in. And I said, well, actually, I just borrowed it from one of the kids at the park, so I could take pictures. I said, but if you guys can come down, I'm sure we could trace the kid. We could trace who the kid is, and so I kind of gave them the runaround. And of course, they stopped contacting me about that piece.
Yeah.
But they saw I had it, and they wanted it. They said, that's our property. That's our intellectual property, and
wow.
So you have to mail that in. And I said, I can't. It's not mine. I just made something up.
Yeah.
But that's how the Pokemon Company is.
I feel like they're definitely, you know, they're a little bit, yeah. Why not? You know, why wouldn't they be? Yeah. That's wild, though. That's crazy.
Sheet. Yeah, but it's only one sheet.
Is it the only one known to exist?
No, there's others. I kind of lost the. Here, let me. 1 second. Let me get. You can't see me, right?
I can see you loud and clear, brother.
Oh, okay. I don't know what.
You're good to go. You can keep talking to me.
Yeah, okay, but I lost all the pictures. So, but yeah, no, there's more. They're sliced up. They got cut up and thrown in the trash.
Yeah.
But then there's about 5 others. I had 5 of them, and Rusty got one.
Yep.
From TCA Gaming. The Uncut Sheet King, I can't remember what his name, but Uncut Sheet. You know, he got one, and then I think I have 3. I have 3 or 2 left. I don't know.
Well, you might have to let me trade you or something, because I don't own any Uncut Sheets. I've been eyeing this Uncut Sheet, the Unlimited Fossil, the rarer one. Because they have a lot of the first edition ones that are out there, but they don't have a lot of the unlimited ones. And so I wanted to get the unlimited one. But when I tried to get it, like, homeboy wanted, you know, I think $2,000 more than I was willing to pay. And then, you know, a week later, he raised his prices and he couldn't sell it. And I offered him the same. I was like, come on, bro. You know, come down a little bit. And he wasn't budging. And then he finally sold it for, like, I think only $1,000 more than what I was willing to pay. You know, so in the end, it didn't really, you know, like, you could have just sold it to me. And I would have paid that. If he was serious, I would have paid that. You know, I'm not. 2,000, you know, I was trying to buy it for 4,500 at the time. That was like a year and a half ago. And so.
Okay. Yeah. You know, somebody asked me, do I regret anything that I've sold or bought? You know, but basically, I regret every single thing I ever sold. I feel
that. I feel that. One of my friends, he has that was my GoPro is telling me that, you know, it's your done.
Okay.
Let me try to figure this guy out real quick. But, you know, it's definitely, you know, a great time to have you, you know, on here. And maybe if we have to stop it there, it's no big deal.
Yeah, we'll get a chance to do it again.
Yeah, it's already been over an hour, Gary. You're fine. Thank you so much for your time.
I appreciate you reaching out, and I appreciate talking to you again. And
I'm glad you remember me. That was, you know, a really fun time, and I had an amazing time meeting you, and you were super nice, and so it's great to come full circle, right? Like, that's pretty nice.
Yeah, well, we'll do it in person next time.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan, Gary. I'm gonna hold you to that. All right.
Great.
All right, so this has been Forever Collector, another episode of Collectors Anonymous here with the king himself. We are ending chat, so you guys go home and have a good night. Thank you and good night.